All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you have not subscribed, make sure you go and hit that subscribe button. We're going to get straight into it, man. We got some updates. We're going to update about this Nolan Wells case. I know you all have seen at this point, Tatum basically doing his interview of these kids. One that looks like a kid, which you'll actually see is their actual lawyer. Crazy, right? I could talk about this with y'all real quick so you don't have to subject yourself to watching, right? So let's bring this up. So Tatum sat down with these kids. We gonna zip through this and we gonna see what they saying in this. Now, a couple of things. Obviously, you see these kids are sitting there and you might be looking at this and thinking, who the hell is this adult guy all the way over here in the corner? Where that is their lawyer, right? And the lawyer is gonna spend some time in here talking about how great these kids are and how much they're great kids. You know, he's gonna actually keep repeating that basically. But you know what it remind me of? Y'all remember Pineapple Express? Remember Pineapple Express with the old teacher who came out after he went to go visit the girl at school? He tried to act like he was cool.
Yeah, hey, I'll see you guys later, all right? All right, Clark. Clark's a great guy, man. He's totally gonna take care of Angela, man. He's great. He's a wonderful lab partner, so it's gonna be cool. We'll keep an eye on her.
Why don't you go yourself, you weird little prick?
I'm a teacher, okay? You can't talk to me like that, guy.
He reminds me of that guy. But let's listen to some of these things that they said and let's see if we could point some things out. And then after that, we're going to look at some of the other things that have been popping up because the boys actually decided to go revisit the island. Now, I don't know how y'all feel about that, but if you ask me, I don't think that is such a good idea to go visit the island that has an active investigation going on. I mean, it's just weird, man. The actions of these kids just show me that they're more concerned about how they look in the public eye than actually trying to figure out what's going on. That's what it seems like to me. So basically in this interview, this guy is speaking about defamation, right? So defamation is one of the things that, you know, they're threatening to people covering it, that, you know, putting out misleading accusations. People, they are basically threatening content creators and other people, you know, for saying things that they perceive as defamation, right? And he's gonna spend this first half of that basically talking about
working with them. What's your expectations when it comes to defamation?
Well, I think an injustice in one place is an injustice everywhere. I hate lying. I care about the truth, but most of all, it's the actual people who are involved here. So first of all, I just want to say Tyler Cox really welcomed me here. My co-counsel, he's an incredible human being and he's an incredible attorney. And then after that, I had an opportunity to meet these incredible young men. And I just got to say, these guys are unbelievable. Warren, Jackson, Morgan, they're just beautiful people. They're really decent human beings. They're just great people.
Great people, decent human beings, really awesome, very great, very amazing, outstanding, very good people. What else, man? What else? Because to me, honestly, like, this is unnecessary if you really ask me. And I'm gonna really try to kind of just summarize this for y'all because to me, this really didn't do anything. This to me seemed like a campaign to have these people look like the victim. That's just me being honest. Feel sorry for us. Look at what we have to endure. Might I remind y'all that the person y'all calling y'all best friend is dead and his mom is grieving. His father is grieving. And y'all over here really talking about how y'all feel in the situation. Now, granted, Tatum is the one asking these questions, right? But I mean, do we really have to sit here through a segment for y'all to tell people how much y'all lives have been impacted?
And you know, that's why I'm here, because I want to help great people. And this is a very sad situation, but it's also a very human situation, and it's a tragedy.
So you guys have, you know, obviously before this happened, I would assume you're living a regular life. Young guys being in college, you know, having a typical experience. Then you lose your friend, Nolan. And after that, what has life been like for you guys?
I think like ever since it happened, my life just like hit like a hole, like it just stopped. And I mean, we just got to live day by day from now on.
I could say definitely a whole flip upside down for our lives. It's like even going out, you know, we're always paranoid somebody's gonna see us, get spotted, try to beat us up potentially, or even worse. We're really just trying to stay low key and not go out as much or anything like that.
I would imagine that part of the reason why people are looking at this with a side eye is because of all the actions that went on in the middle of this. Like all this mysterious shit that's been going on, you know, the lawyering up, deleting content on social media, staying radio silent. Like there's a bunch of things that you could have done to make people feel better about what they're looking at and kind of not look at you strange. And one of them also would have been going to his damn funeral. Go to his damn funeral, man. Like this is your friend. You said that this is your brother. How are you going to miss your brother's funeral? These are the things that people look at and people start to feel like, damn, that's kind of wild. I'm not missing his funeral. Who cares what people got to say about it? If that was really your brother, brother, you showing up there would make people look at you a little bit different. I think when you take all those acts together and you put them all together, something just doesn't seem right to people. And people are questioning it. And they have a right to. And the first thing they go to is they get defensive. And they want to talk about defamation and put out threats. But let's continue.
It's been hard because my friends and I are people. I mean, we like to be out and hang out outside of our friend group, and not being able to like go certain places or, walk around in public because our head's always on a swivel. It's really affected all of us. It's been really hard because I'm worried about like my family. We're just going day by day and just trying to get through every day,
Can you give me some examples of what has happened? Have you guys have had things happen online, threats online? Have you guys have any examples of people costing you or anything like that?
Well, this is where it gets a little insulting, man. Of course, Tatum is basically asking him to explain any situations of discrimination, I guess. Or I don't know what they're gonna call it at this point, but explain any situations where you feel like you've been mistreated because of the situation. And this to me, man, is a moment where these kids just lack so much awareness, man. It's just insane.
Oh yeah, we have had countless death threats online, been spotted. I'll let you elaborate more on that. Being spotted.
People have obviously just pointed us out. As a group and even on a one-on-one setting, I think it's really just like awkward because I don't want to talk about this, and I know my friends don't want to talk about this any more than we need to. We're still mourning one of our best friends' death, and it's hard to speak about it when like sometimes we just need some alone time, or sometimes we just need to lay back and not be around all this. And I've been called out in public, and I haven't been in public that much. I know my friends have had encounters in public. The threats have been insane from my stepmom, my dad, my mom, just everyone included. Like,
mind you, Nolan's mom has been getting threats too, and she's the one that lost the son. So again, I don't know if this is a campaign to make people feel bad, but just to point out, she getting threats too. But okay.
Like even my brothers, my sisters, and it's just hard. It's unbelievable where like this has been taken to and the level where this is at.
When you say you've been called out in public, can you give me an example of like, what do you mean? People are threatening you with weapons? People are, not allowing you, denying you service? Because I heard that Trayston, he went to a corner store and they told him his money is not good there. They wouldn't even let him buy Gatorade.
Yeah.
Are you experiencing things like that or something totally different?
Right.
Oh my God, poor thing, man. You couldn't buy a Frost Gatorade. You couldn't quench your thirst. Like, this is just such a lack of awareness. Listen, and I'm not condoning it. It's not right that people were denied service anywhere they went. If this actually happened, it's not a thing that's like, oh, that's cool that they did that. But why even bring this shit up? You have somebody like Tatum who is going to claim that he wants to find the answers. He wants to know what happened. So why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about what these kids are going through? What is the whole point of this? This does not bring not one answer to what happened on that damn boat or on that damn island or in that damn water. Not one. It doesn't bring any explanation to anything. So what are we even talking about here? And it just clearly leads me to believe that this for him is all about, let me be the guy to do the big reveal. I want these guys on my show. I want to get these clicks. I want to get these views. Because why else would you just decide to do these interviews in different parts? And why are these kids showing up to this interview after they said they don't like and want to be in the public eye?
I wouldn't say like that. I think I haven't been denied, anything, but like Tracy, it's hard to hear from a good friend of mine that he's getting denied a Gatorade and a Red Bull before work and having to, like, he calls me, he's like, dude, you won't believe what just happened. He got called out at Walmart asking him all these questions and trying to press him about it. And it's crazy to me. Like, we live in a very tight-knit community, and for people to, push back and say these things when they know what Ocean Springs is like, it's really hard. And I haven't had many personal encounters, but I know being around the guys and stuff like that, they have, so.
And Ed, as an attorney that's representing these boys, what does that make you feel like? Do you feel like you got a good case here, or, what's your perspective in that? Because, people are online and obviously they know you represented Donald Trump in some pretty high profile cases. And so now that you've joined, or at least now you work for the young men here.
How ironic is it that they get a lawyer who's represented Trump in some high profile cases? You can't make this stuff up, man. Y'all just keep giving people a reason to look at y'all strange. Y'all just, every time y'all get on here and say, I can't believe they saying this about us, y'all find a new thing to give them to start looking at y'all strange and say new things about y'all. I just don't get it.
Well, unfortunately, I wish there was no case. I wish this hadn't happened. But unfortunately, because these things did happen, there is a case, and now there's multiple cases. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you're out there and you lied about these guys, you lied about my guys, you lied about Tyler's guys here, if you lied about Morgan, if you lied about Jax, if you lied about Warren, we're gonna get you. And you're gonna be hauled into court, you're gonna be held accountable, and it's gonna be very painful. And what I would say to the people who have done that is, now's your chance. If you want to apologize and retract before you find yourself in court, you should probably do that now. Because if you don't do that, once you're in court, now you just can't leave.
Everybody, round of applause for the lawyer. He got his clip. He got his clip, y'all. Round of applause for the lawyer. He was searching for the clip. He found his clip, man. Quoted something from a movie. Now, this is what's going to be what everybody's going to talk about, because that is definitely what the fuck we here for. We here in this interview for you to get a clip. All people want is what happened. What is the truth? What happened? This is a waste of time. And I'm volunteering my time to check this out so y'all don't have to. Y'all got this man over here quoting shit from movies like this is some funny matter. A kid lost his life. A mother is grieving. A father is grieving. A family is grieving. And yes, is it a problem that y'all gotta go out in public and people approaching y'all and asking y'all questions? Yeah, it is what it is. Y'all said it's a tight-knit community. That's what happens in tight-knit communities. If this was a whole nother situation and Nolan had did something, I'm sure they would have been out there asking Nolan questions. So this victim mentality really needs to stop, bro. It really needs to stop, dog. But this is kind of expected, right? They want to flip this around and they want to make these kids victims in this situation.
We're not going to name names because there's some other folks who are doing that, and we want to be better than that. And I want to emphasize this, right? We're not here to guess. We're not here to speculate. We're only going to deal in facts, right? And here's the most important thing, right? We don't know how Nolan Wells died. No one here is saying we know. But what we do know is Morgan, Jax, and Warren had nothing whatsoever to do.
We don't know, but 1, 2, 3, they had nothing to do with it though. As their lawyer, I expect you to say that. So I'm not even like tripping off of that. But the immediate contradiction is crazy to me. We don't know what happened. If you don't know what happened, you don't know that this person, that person, that person didn't have anything to do with anything. You don't know that. And that's the same thing everybody else has been saying. Nobody knows. But just like you can sit here and speculate and assume that they didn't have nothing to do with it, because how could they? There are people that are out there that are going to say, well, I think they had something to do with it. How could they not? It's the same thing, bro. This is why I don't understand the angle here. I don't get what they saying here.
With Nolan Wells' death. And that's what's important. And unfortunately, because there are people who want to divide a town and come in from the outside and tell people what to think and pit neighbor against neighbor, it compounds the tragedy. It magnifies the tragedy.
Divide a town, pit neighbor against neighbor. We talking about Mississippi here? Do we really got to go into the history of Mississippi, dog? Come on, man.
Here's why it's an even bigger tragedy. Because my friends here, Morgan, Jax, and Warren, these guys are not just the finest that Ocean Springs has to offer. Finest that Mississippi.
God, bro. Yo, the glazing is crazy, dog. I know you they lawyer. I know you trying to, I know you working this the best way you could, but the glazing, bro, has got to stop, bro. You over glazing now at this point. Sheesh.
Has to offer. These are the finest young men that America has to offer. You know, really great people. And Tyler actually taught me good Ocean Springs people. That was one of the first things I heard when I got here. So I'll just say that they're good Ocean Springs people.
Sorry to interrupt. I know you're enjoying this incredible interview. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and also join our membership program. Let's get back to the interview. And how confident are you?
Fuck was that? What the fuck was that, man? Like, bro, who said we was enjoying this shit? Who said we was enjoying this shit, man? Did we really need to see the commercial? This man gave us a coonerlude. What the hell are we doing, man? This man just showed up on the screen and started tap dancing. Golly.
Because you just met these young men more recently. And are you confident that these young men had nothing to do with it?
Confidence not a strong enough word. In fact, beyond a reasonable doubt is not strong enough. There's a 0% chance that they did anything wrong.
Wow.
So this is not 90%. It's not.
Wow. 0% chance. Now, mind you, I want people to be very aware. Since nobody knows what happened and everybody's giving their own accounts on this whole thing, the scenario could be anything. Let's also remember that one potential scenario could be that, you know, they didn't do anything, but they know something and aren't disclosing it. That alone to me is wrongdoing. So to sit here and say 100% they didn't do anything, it's just insane to me, man.
Not 99%. It's not 99.9999. There's no decimals. There's no anything. It's 100%. 100.000%. Nothing. They did nothing wrong. And that's the problem for our opponents here, who have ruined their lives, dragged them through the mud, and attack them. You don't get to lie. You want to lie and it doesn't hurt people? Fine. You lie and you hurt people, that's why we have defamation.
And you guys have had experiences with either people threatening you online. I know that, Warren, we talked about this before, and we talked a little, or at least spoke a little bit about when you go out, you guys are getting accosted by people. Can you give us an example of, or at least tell the audience an example of an incident where you guys may have been accosted?
Oh my gosh, bro. Why is this man harping on this right here? He done asked this question like 3 different times in 3 different ways. What do you want them to tell you? Do you want them to say they went to a restaurant and they told them, nah, you can't sit here? Like, are you looking for these boys to say they tried to go sip water at a water fountain and they was like, no, non-suspects only? What are you looking for, man? God damn.
Or what does that look like when you go out? People threaten you with weapons, or people trying to physically harm you, or people having to be restricted?
We went to a restaurant and someone came up to me and was like, is this you? And I was kind of like shaken up about it. She came up to me again and showed me our first interview and was like, are you sure this isn't you? And I was like, well, yeah, that's me, like, obviously. And she kind of just, I looked at my buddy and I was like, yeah, we're leaving, close everything out, like we're going. And I left, and there was an altercation after I left with some of my buddies that weren't involved in this at all. And they told my friends that they were gonna kill them and they wanted to fight and all this like crazy stuff. I mean, I wasn't there, but my friends told me this, that what the people were saying to them was like totally just crazy. Like, I mean, there was people like that were, outside of this telling us like, hey, you need to leave before something happens because I know what could go down right now. And like, I know that these people are crazy. So, I mean,
oh man, sounds like a couple of places that still exist to this day. Yeah. It's a town that rhymes with rundown. Yeah, them rundown towns, huh?
We all felt, we were kind of shaken up about that. It was weird because it was our first encounter as a group. And I think it's also like just crazy that people will like look at you in the eye and tell you they'll kill you because they believe you killed your best friend and you have nothing to do with it.
And Morgan and Jax, were you guys there?
Yes, we were there.
I was there.
I didn't hear the part where they said they were going to kill him and stuff, but I did hear whenever she came up to him originally, she was like, hey, you have like TikTok or anything like that? Your face looks really familiar. And he was like, no, I don't have TikTok or anything like that. And she was like, oh, okay. And then walked off and then came back with, like you said, the first interview on her phone and showing him. She's like, so this isn't you. Either you have a doppelganger or this is you. And he was like, well, yeah, that's me. And then we got the check and we bounced and we were waiting outside for everybody else to get out of there. And while we're waiting outside is whenever some of our other buddies that aren't even on social media that we were just there with was getting told that other people are going to kill them and all that kind of stuff.
All right, let's make one thing apparent here. I want to make this very clear. Nobody is going to feel bad for you guys. You guys decided to sit on this interview with Race Batum Tatum and talk to him. You guys decided to do that. I'm looking at this number right here in the corner and it says he has 3.8 million subscribers. You guys exposed yourself to this. This is just what comes with it. This is a nationally covered case. People are following this all around the world. Social media is active. Everybody has accounts. People can post whatever they want to post. Y'all exposed yourself to this the minute y'all decided to sit down and talk to this man so that he could get his views. So to sit here and say, oh my gosh, people are noticing us. People are asking, is this you? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the results of sitting on a show during a nationally covered case with 3.8 million subscribers. What did you think was going to happen? Are we serious here? Come on, man.
So how did that make you guys feel? Did you think they were serious? Did you think it was just people trying to make a name for themselves by confronting you in front of others? Like, what was your take on that?
And this is classic Race Batum Tatum, right? He is really trying to catch his own clip in this moment. And he wants his clip to be like, look, they tried to get some Gatorade, or look, they tried to eat over here and they said, you're not welcome here. He wants to get that clip, which is why he keeps harping on this damn question and asking this shit repeatedly.
I actually got into a conversation with a fellow next to me that wasn't even involved. And he told me straight up, he was like, if I was y'all right now, I would leave before y'all get hurt. Don't need to leave right now. I'm just watching out for y'all and making sure y'all are safe. And I mean, I wouldn't say that those people would have physically done something in that moment, but I think they were playing almost like a mental game, like just to get into your head and just almost like make yourself like just think these things that obviously are not true.
How do you think this should have gone? If you could control the environment, Nolan is found deceased. How do you guys think that this should have been put out to the world?
So first off, I wish that none of this would ever happen. I wish Nolan could still be here with us today. And I wish that like I said, none of this would ever happen. Like if I wish that all this could be erased and Nolan could be here tomorrow. I mean, that's more than anything. But other than that, I feel like his mom blasting us on social media from the get-go, saying that he was out there with Warren and another guy. That's where it first started to take off. And then also the fact that she...
Who's the other guy? See, all these games people play, man. Who's the other guy? What are you even talking about? And why make it a point to even bring up his mother in this situation? You said that's your brother, man. You said that was your brother, like a brother to you. Why even bring up his mother at this point? My God, man.
Posted a picture of me and Morgan and another guy and Nolan on the boat together, blasting that out there, pushing this narrative, kind of, I guess. I wish that would have never happened either. And I don't think those would have never happened. A lot of this stuff wouldn't have been as viral or gone all over the country at this point. I mean, this is a countrywide...
I ain't gonna lie, man. This guy right here, man. Gotta watch this guy, man. This guy right here, I don't know, man. Something about this guy that I'm not feeling, man. I'm not feeling it.
News story that is just blown out of proportion, and the fact that it was our best friend and it's not what people are saying it is what hurts the most. I mean, that was our brother. I mean, straight up. That's what I told his dad the night that he came over to my house. He was like, blah, blah, saying something. I was like, dude, that was my brother. Like, and you know that. He knows that. We were picking him up every single day. He never drove. I can't tell you how many times I pulled up in his driveway and picked him up. And it wasn't him asking. It was just because that's what we did. We just picked up Nolan all the time. That's how he, came about to all the stuff that we were going to. We'd go and pick him up. That's how much we like to be around him. We would do stuff like that all the time,
I wish we would have never went out on the 4th of July because I know this wouldn't have happened. Nolan wouldn't be gone. And it's really hard to think about because it's like, I wish I would have done this different or I wish I would have done that different because now one of my brothers wouldn't have passed away. But I think from the beginning, I'm glad that I called the Coast Guard. I'm glad that we came together as a group, even from the first day when people started. I wish it wouldn't have been reported as some type of race thing. I think it's really bad that people are pushing the narrative, oh, this is a race thing. Well, obviously it's not. I mean, this is like a brother to us. I mean, Nolan's no different than anyone else in our group. And I just wish this wasn't pushed on the media as, oh, this is a bunch of white guys that killed a black guy. Or this is in the beginning, it was like 4 guys went to a stranded island and dumped Nolan at the island and just left him there thing. And no one had facts. And they were just pushing this horrible narrative, all lies about everyone. And it's sick. So I wish that would have been completely different. I'm glad I called the Coast Guard. I'm glad I made the first contact within all of this. I'm glad I was the first one that called Christine Wells that night and told her that we haven't heard from her son. And I'm glad that I did all of that, but I hate the way this has been perceived by the media and portrayed. This has been absolutely horrible with the way and the things that they've said to us and done. But other than that, I mean, there's not much I would change from my point of view and my friend's point of view. I think we did everything right, and I know we did nothing wrong.
I also want to say, I think it's so criminal that they took something so anti-racist and flipped it into something super racist. Like they took, this is the...
I told y'all, man, we gotta watch this kid. Took something so anti-racist and turned, what was anti-racist? What are we talking about, man? This is frustrating.
The definition of anti-racism, I mean, that we did not look at Nolan any different than I looked at him, or even you. This...
Or even you. We all heaven sent, even you. Like, bruh, you know what? Some of this stuff, man, I can't, man. Like, even you is crazy. Even you over there, my African-American friend. Like, what are we
This is literally our brother. I mean, like we stated, we did not treat him any different. We didn't treat Trayson any different. We don't treat Trayson any different. And they just flipped it. And I just think that is so wild that they're pushing this thing that they're saying, oh, they want to end racism and all this stuff. Well, they're the one pushing it. They're pushing the racism. And I just think that's kind of crazy.
They want to end racism and that stuff that they be talking about. Oh, my God. Again, I will continue to say that this interview is a terrible idea. The interview before this was a terrible idea. This does nothing to help anything. All it does is further divide people because you get on here and you try to blame people for doing this and blame people for doing that. Y'all sending threats, talking about defamation for these people, and then y'all complaining about threats. Y'all trying to make this story about y'all. This is not helping at all, dog.
Morgan, what's your thoughts on this? How does it affect you?
First I want to say
I want y'all to pause for a second and just think about how absurd this is. Going down the line, how did this affect you? How did this affect you? How did this affect you? Going down the line of everyone talking about how this affected me and why people should feel bad for me. I can't believe they made me feel this way. This is not the time. This is still an unsolved case.
wish this would have never happened. I wish Nolan would still be here with us today. And in my opinion, I think that the media, they shouldn't have pushed a narrative from so early. I think that they should have let the local officials do their job, let them release statements.
The local officials, you mean the same ones that said they didn't suspect any foul play before they even like started their investigation? You mean that? Those local officials? That's what everybody should have waited for. Okay.
The media is obviously going to see that and then do whatever they do. But that's what I mean. I trust the local officials.
Ed, with what has transpired, how does that dictate your response? And you see that there's people that instigated the narrative that's out there now. And as a defamation attorney, how does this navigate your tactics?
Sure, and I want to be clear about something. Tonight, I'm not going to give any particular person any more oxygen than they may have already sucked up. But I will say this. What's been said about Morgan, Jax, and Warren, I'm not going to call them untruths or half-truths or falsehoods. I'm going to call it what it is, lies. So the first thing that's really important here is we're dealing with lies and liars. We're dealing with profiteers. We're dealing with hustlers. And one thing that I've seen since I got here is that Ocean Springs, Mississippi, is a really beautiful place. And the region.
How you gonna talk about Tatum right in his face like that? Like you're literally on a show where this guy is putting out part 1 and part 2s of an interview, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
It's very beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful places in the country. And there is just no question. The death of Nolan Wells is a horrendous tragedy. But for the tragedy to then be magnified after his death for no reason other than profit is a disgrace, or what we would call a shanda.
The profit thing really bothers me, man, because there are a lot of people that cover this that really want to know what happened. There are a lot of people that talk about this that really feel empathy for the mother. There are a lot of people that can identify with this situation. There are so many people that look at this and feel like they understand his mother's pain. There are people that identify with this tragedy. There are people out there who have kids and they can't seem to ever imagine them having to be in this situation. So you know what that does? That means people talk about it. People are going to feel some type of way. People are going to give their opinions. People are going to talk about the situation. To label everybody profiteers at that point is just crazy. It's crazy and insensitive, and it shows the true character of this guy and what he's aiming at. To me, it just feels like it's a fear tactic to quiet down the noise, to get people to stop talking about it. But at the end of the day, we could say the same exact thing that you said. We don't know what happened. And I believe a lot of people have said this. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say maybe there's not a few people that are just making shit up using AI to just generate voiceovers that say some crazy wild shit. But I think the majority of people, well, I won't say majority, but I think a lot of people understand what sounds crazy and what doesn't. So I really hate labeling everybody as profiteers. I think that's really reckless, and I think it's really disrespectful. A lot of people just want to know what happened. And to be honest with y'all, I really hope none of his friends had anything to do with it. I don't know what people think. You think if we found out today that his friends had something to do with it, you think people would be jumping for joy? It would be a very, very sad situation on top of an already sad situation. Nobody would see joy in that. And maybe I'm just speaking for myself. I wouldn't see no joy in that, because who really wants it to be a story of a kid who trusted his friends, made these people his close friends regardless of color, race, all that shit, to only get betrayed? Who wants that to be the story? It's so fucking frustrating, man.
And I had the opportunity to go to Horn Island today with Tyler and Warren and Jax. God. A lot of people who have been sucking up way more oxygen than they're entitled to have not been to the island. I'm willing to bet that a lot of the hustlers and profiteers and liars have not been to that island. And you have to go to that island. And being at the island today was revelatory. It was really illuminating. It's a very dynamic marine environment, first of all. But when you go to the island, you see instantly that what some people want to be true, what they wish to be true, they're trying to wish it to be true. They're trying to make it true through their lies. It's actually not possible. It is a very, very long and narrow barrier island. It's basically very low sand dunes. And in the particular part of the island that we're dealing with, there are no trees. It's hardly any foliage, hardly any tree cover, hardly any plants, and it's wide open. And on July 4th, there were thousands of people there. There is no possible way that anybody could have committed a murder in broad daylight on a barren, windswept island that is narrow and was just swamped with people that day in broad.
I don't know what point this proves. To me, this just tells me that somebody had to see something. Somebody had to see something. That's all this tells me. Somebody saw something. That's what I get from this.
Morgan, Warren, and Jax left the island at about 4:30 p.m. That's it. They were gone. And at that time, Nolan Wells was still alive. Now, I'm not going to name them out of respect for their privacy, but just as one example, there are two very fine, upstanding members of the Ocean Springs community who saw Nolan Wells at about 10 minutes to 6 p.m. So about an hour and a half after these fine young men had left the island. They were gone, departed. Nolan Wells was alive. And these two witnesses, two very reliable, very credible, and very upstanding members of the community, they saw Nolan, and they've known Nolan for years. There's no chance that they made a mistake. And by the way, this can be corroborated through other evidence, other eyewitness accounts. And that's the end of it right there. That's before we get into everything else about the situation.
What is your thoughts on that phone call to Cito? Some people have gone out and done enhancements to the audio, and in doing that, created a transcript manually. It doesn't appear that the transcript was derived from an automated system or have any, in my opinion, real integrity with it. What are your thoughts, first, you guys, on the audio, and then I'll get to you, Ed, on could that be a defamatory area, the way it was produced? So what do you guys think about that audio?
There goes your profiteer, man. There goes your profiteer, man. You want to talk about profiteer and all this stuff? There it goes right there, man. Part 2 coming soon, like a motion picture. You want to talk about profiteers, man? It's right there in your face. You're on the damn profiteer show. Like, come on, man. You cannot make this stuff up. Unfortunately, man, we're still at a place where we don't really have answers. You know, people are trying to find things out. It's a sad thing at the end of the day. There's nothing cool about this, nothing fun about it. Now, I thought this was interesting too. Just to close this off, Nolan Wells, the autopsy, apparently nobody is supposed to have the autopsy. The autopsy is supposed to go straight to the grand jury. Nobody's supposed to have this information. But apparently, Chris Cuomo and possibly the lawyer may have some knowledge of it.
They found evidence of water in tissue and cavities consistent with drowning. However, the body was also floating in the water and could have collected water. You could shoot me. I fall in the water. I could have water become the equivalent of ingested. Not that often, but it happens. In the stomach, yeah, a little bit. Depends on the condition of the epiglottis. The lungs, more common because there are more entryways that can get to it. The second is, okay, so there was water in there and he was drowned, but he had help drowning. And that the third possibility is that there was water there, but it is not conclusive. I am being told it is consistent with drowning. What that means investigatively is still open to interpretation. You've heard
Now, again, I told y'all it's supposed to go straight to the grand jury. So where is he getting this information from? And putting out this information and saying, you know, there's evidence of drowning, you know, that can mean anything. It can mean anything, man. What?
Same.
Yeah, so
there is no suggestion of gross injury. I thank you for the clarification. I do not mean to suggest otherwise. I'm saying that what I have been told, that there is evidence consistent with drowning, doesn't mean that he drowned necessarily, or that the drowning was the cause of death, or the water in there was the cause of death. I'm just being open-minded because that is the most practical way to be. Also, the headline information, not surprising to me, is that he was there drinking. He was seen drinking. He was known to enjoy drinking, and that's what was going on at Horn Island. You can feel any way you want about it, but it is, as a matter of fact, what the situation was about. So the toxicology early on shows a significant level of blood alcohol, the BAC level, as they call it in the body. You have also heard that. Am I correct, counsel?
I'm going to wait till the pathologist puts out the report, and I'm going to wait for the district attorney.
You see what I mean, man? This is the crazy stuff, man. Nobody has the autopsy. The autopsy is supposed to go to the grand jury, but somehow Chris Cuomo knows that there was blood alcohol levels detected. He knows that there was drowning. How do you know this, sir? And strategically, he's just out here saying drowning, blood alcohol, that is only leading to one conclusion that they're trying to get at. That's what it seems like to me.
Attorney puts out the evidence that they have. What I will say,
but safe to say is you cannot cannot contradict me at this point.
What I will say is that I think when all of the evidence is presented, it will be overwhelming. And that it will be overwhelmingly clear from witnesses, forensic evidence, pictures, videos, that what my client has said is true.
So the whole point is, man, if y'all got information, it would be nice for people to know this information. And that would be what would stop people from saying the things that they saying. And basically, you know, get people to look at this a different way. Right now, people don't have any type of information. So they coming up with their own scenarios, you know, and they asking the questions that for some reason nobody else wants to ask. And you know, that lawyer was like, yeah, you know, I ain't gonna go down the speculation route with you. I'm gonna just wait till the autopsy comes in. And look, rightfully so, man. Again, I tell y'all, man, a lot of people feel connected to this because, you know, for their own personal reasons. So they're going to look into it. They're going to come up with these scenarios and people are going to keep talking about it, man. And it is what it is. We're going to keep covering it here as much as we can. Hopefully there's some answers that we get soon, and not just for me. Like, hopefully there's some answers that his parents can get really soon, because they're sitting here not knowing a damn thing about what's going on. And if anybody deserves answers, it's them. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. Thank y'all for chilling with me. Thank y'all for watching this straight through. If you made it to the end of this video, drop those 100 emojis in the comments. That's going to let me know that you made it to the end of the video. I appreciate y'all. Till next time, y'all know the vibes. Let's go.
Fun to do bad things.
Take off the short nail, take off the dope, take off the broken bag.